Wow, what's this? 2 Xenoblade videos in the same week? A Xenoblade video that's less than 10 minutes? What's going on? Well, long story short, I accidentally deleted the half terabyte of video files that comprised my X Let's Play that I'd been using for X-related footage. Originally, I was like, oh god, I'm gonna have to replay the entire game and can't make more X videos until I finish doing that. Then I realized that YouTube actually lets you, like, re-download all your uploaded videos. So, slightly worse quality, colors are washed out, I'm doing some color correction, it'll probably be okay. But after staring at, wow, look at all these X videos I made a year and a half ago or whatever, I want to talk about X. So, then I came up with a video idea, which is this one. And it's going to be a much less than 10 minutes video. I couldn't fit it into a full thing, it's just a small theory. So I was like, you know what? If I come up with mini things that I can release just kind of whenever I think of them, and they're less than 10 minutes, I might as well just not bother pushing my other stuff I planned for weekends back, and just put them out when they get out, and save the bigger stuff for weekends. So this weekend you're getting another Xenoblade video. It will be an XC2 theory, because of course it is. My view numbers are going down, and I'd like to keep the forward momentum going, so I gotta do the thing that everyone actually watches. But here is a little, small, nice, bite-sized X theory now. Spoiler-wise, this technically goes past the end of Chapter 9, because after that is when you get the Affinity mission that lets you recruit Celica, but in terms of actual plot, there isn't anything after Chapter 6 that you actually need to know about, other than the fact that you get Celica at some point later down the road. Because this is going to be talking about the Overdrive gear, and why it's kinda weird for Celica and one other party member. When you first learn it, you get it after completing Chapter 5, which is the one that drops the whole reveal about everyone being Mimiosomes, and in the tutorial for it, it heavily implies that it's some function of a Mimiosome body. The Japanese name is overclock gear. It's literally overclocking some element of your robot form and moving really fast for a little bit, or forever if you have one of the stupid broken builds. But the weird thing about that is, while the vast majority of playable characters in X are humans and Mim bodies, 2 of them you get are in fact not. Those being Celica, as I mentioned before, and L. Technically there is the one super spoilery post-game one, but I'm not going to count that because that's like more of a game completion bonus, and I have no idea if it's actually canon or not, since it's weird that that character wouldn't be using a Mim for most things in the first place. But why can L and Celica use Overdrive? Well, I'd like to posit, and there are a few problems with this that I'll go over later, that they are actually using Mimiosomes. Think about it. L and Celica are both very humanoid in appearance. Celica literally just has an accent none of the Americans have, and some ears, and L is a little taller, a little furrier, and he has horns. That's not too different, and since you can literally give yourself weird skin colors and a few weird facial features in the actual character creator, which is canonically designing your Mimiosome, it seems really weird to me that they wouldn't be able to just make Mims of 2 very humanoid looking aliens with the technology already available to them. And adding on to that, the reason they're using Mims is so their real bodies can be safe in the Lifehold. If you have people using their real bodies that you can make Mims for, why would you put them in danger? If they're willing to, like, fight for you and stuff, why would you make them use their regular bodies when you could very easily make a Mimiosome for them, have them chill back in NLA, mind-linking to it, and not actually being in mortal danger? That doesn't make much sense to me. So the easy explanation is that once those 2 join Blade, or L doesn't officially join. L is weird in terms of everything about him. I don't even know if he officially joins Blade at any point, but it seems likely that after the 2 of them decided to start going on Blade missions and stuff, they just had Mims of themselves made, and there's always that little fade out when you let a character join your party. It could just literally have them go off to a pod somewhere and start piloting a Mimiosome. The only problem with this is actually on L's side and not Celica's, because when she joins, she already tried to do a fake Blade mission thing, then gets officially accepted into Blade, given permanent membership, her own division, all that stuff. Then there's a fade out at the end of an Affinity mission, and she's a normal recruitable party member. L, on the other hand, soft joins you partway through Chapter 4, and then you get him as a permanent member after that, at which point nobody can use Overdrive, so it's not weird. Then you can use him whenever except for Chapter 6, and then after Chapter 5 he gets Overdrive with everyone else. So you could just be like, oh, at some point in between the end of Chapter 5 and him joining Blade, they made a Mim for him. And that would work, except for what Chapter 6 is. The adventure into Dead Man's Gulch, the tainted region of Noctilum, where all the creatures attack living things on sight, and the Mims can get away with it, even when the Ganglion couldn't, because they're technically not alive, and the only reason you ever actually have to fight something there is because Tatsu is an idiot. The thing about that is, your party is restricted to you, Elma, Lin, and Lao for the express reason of L is a living being and would get kind of screwed there. So you could just say, oh, they realized, wait, Mims have the advantage here, so we just make it one for L after that. Except, there's a little period of time in between chapters 5 and 6 where you can have L in your party using Overdrive before they would have made that revelation. And I believe the one required affinity mission has one open party member slot. You need 20% survey in Noctilum, which I'm pretty sure you could just do with whoever. So it's really weird and really noodly here with how any of this could actually make sense. The non-mission required Tainted are technically enemy types that can detect you, but they just won't even if you run straight past them. And while I'm sure that the developers might have thought to actually been like, oh, if you go there with L or Celica, they'll notice you, but Celica joins at too high a level to be noticed by anything of those levels, and I forgot to ever go back and try that with L on any of my files, so I don't know if that actually does that. So maybe L makes no sense, Celica's in a Mim, they have like drugs that lets them technically overdrive, aliens have better adrenaline than humans. I'm not actually sure. Like, I really liked that they made Mim's explanation, but it just still doesn't mesh with the gameplay, so I think we're still at a loss here. Maybe you guys could figure something out that I couldn't, because I'm out of ideas. So, I got the story and the gameplay a little closer together and made the Overdrive stuff make a bit more sense, but now there's only a little tiny piece that doesn't make sense as opposed to the entire thing, and that's probably a little more annoying even than that. So, that's all I got. See you this weekend, and until next time, this is Luxin, signing off.